Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another video on You're Not Alone. Please like, comment, subscribe. Helps me to get on the algorithm. And today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys what I've been thinking about lately. And I just feel like we honestly live in a Truman Show. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Truman Show is a movie that came out with Jim Carrey. I forgot what year it was, but pretty much in that movie, Jim Carrey led the perfect life. Like, he had the wife, he had the job, he was respected, he had friends. It was a cool life. But then at a certain point, he started getting a little awareness that he was not in a genuine reality. And what do I mean by that? So I forgot the premise of the movie, but pretty much someone was making his life like a TV show. Hence, his name is Truman. It's called The Truman Show. So everything in his life was pretty much fake, from his wife to his friends to his job. Everything was scripted. And when you go through an awakening, when you start getting a little bit more aware of like what's going on out here, you're gonna hear the Truman Show effect a lot. You're gonna see it pop up in videos, people talk about it. And I think a lot of people are turned away by the term because it sounds very schizophrenic. And I do agree it does, because what do you mean you think you're living life like in a TV show? Now, a lot of these things that we see, it's not to be taken at face value. Like, we like to say we live in a matrix. Now, if you take the Matrix movie, it's not like I think we're plugged into a machine and now we're in this virtual reality. It's just a nice analogy to what we're experiencing in real life in our day-to-day. Now, with the Truman Show, do I think I'm in a literal TV show? No. But the thing is, a lot of people reside in the third dimension. A lot of people are still asleep to the reality that's in front of them. And because of that, a lot of people are operating in a programming that is not of one of like free will. So because of that, a lot of people are going off a script. A lot of people are just moving unaware and not aware of why they're doing the things that they're doing. People don't know why they want to go get up and go work their 9 to 5. They don't know why they're told to go to college, like all these different things that the script has you following. But then once you start awakening and you kind of step out of it, now you're able to see reality for what it is. And now you see how everyone is operating. And it looks like you're dealing with a lot of fake people. People want to call them bots. People want to call them NPCs. Sometimes I try to stay away from terms like that because it sounds very egotistical to be like, you have a lot of NPCs, you have bots out here, unaware people, and this and that. But at the same time, like, if you want to have these real conversations, you just kind of have to call it what it is. There are people that aren't really in control of what they want in this world, how they move, their likes, their wants. They're probably influenced from trauma from the past, the system, going to school, that system in a nutshell. So when you are kind of like not operating in that and you are having conversations with people, you will see that everyone is kind of following the same script. It's like you have a conversation with someone, you ask them how are you? No one wants to get to like the really real stuff. They'll tell you like the really surface level stuff, like, hey, I'm good. They'll ask you about the weather. They'll probably talk about the sports, the politics, what's currently like their 9 to 5 drama, just stuff like that. And you are now starting to see how predictable human behavior can be. Like, I'm very good at picking up patterns, seeing how people maneuver. I can use that to see how things are going to go. And if I start seeing people that are a little bit more aware, then of course they kind of like throw up the dynamic. But it's crazy because a lot of people aren't aware. And the reason a lot of people aren't aware is because in order to kind of get to that next level, you have to kind of do the work on yourself. You have to do shadow work. You have to face parts about yourself that's not going to be pretty. Like, in order to grow as a person, you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, I have to change that. Like, don't get in your feelings about it. I don't want people to do shadow work and all this like self-work and think, oh my God, like, is that what I really do? Is that how I am? And get down on yourself. Everyone needs to be grateful where they're currently at in life, but at the same time recognize that you can always get better. Everyone's always a work in progress. But at the same time, it's like people can't really take accountability these days. A lot of people out here, if they do you wrong, they just can't take accountability for whatever the reason is. Like me, myself, I know I can take accountability. When I F up, I can look myself in the mirror and be like, hey, look, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I need to grow as a person. And that just comes from me constantly journaling, meditating, and also because I have very, like, what kind of mind will I say? Like, a very intuitive mind. So introspective, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm always thinking about, like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Are these the thoughts that I currently have? Are these thoughts that someone else kind of planted within my mind? And it's not to say that there won't be some type of influence over me, but me going through my ego death, I'm able to see how my ego is pulling the strings sometimes and move accordingly for the most part. Like, before I awakened, I was a person that was very much so moving in ego. My ego was making me chase validation, money, girls, the shiniest objects. And that wasn't granting me like a self of fulfillment. Then once I went through my awakening, had my ego death, I was able to get to a new sense of awareness. You're gonna realize a lot of people that I am talking about that reside like in this Truman show, their ego is protecting them. Their ego is making them do things that they're not even aware of. And that ego came from something from their childhood. It came from something from a traumatic event, like probably getting bullied as a kid, all these different things. So when you kind of move in a way where you are being your authentic self and you aren't moving in ego and you're going against this programming, that's when the people in the TV show, they start malfunctioning a little bit, or they get extremely uncomfortable. The Matrix calls it Agent Smiths. The Truman Show, you just saw the characters in the movie get physically uncomfortable when you act that way. So when you are doing things to not be a part of the system, you are bettering your mind by reading, you're raising your frequency, and you're being out in nature. You're doing all these things to better yourself and to make yourself not have a slave mindset. People in the Matrix, people in the Truman Show, they sense that, and you're gonna make a lot of people uncomfortable. You're gonna start becoming a mirror to a lot of people that resides like in a fantasy world, and that's why a lot of people aren't going to like talking to you. A lot of people aren't going to be comfortable in your presence because you've done the work on yourself, and without you even doing something, you're shining something back at that person. You're shining back what they refuse to work on, who they refuse, the things about themselves that they just don't feel comfortable tapping into just yet. And I've experimented with this. It's just like, people will love me in the beginning, like adore me, like my energy that I give. Like I radiate very positive energy, and people are drawn to that energy. But the reason I have this energy within myself is because I've done the work on myself. And not to sound egotistical again, like I have a long way to go. And that's just me thinking, like, I'm never satisfied with where I'm at. I'm grateful for where I'm at, but I'm not satisfied. So people get drawn into my energy, and eventually, like, they see I'm not living in an illusion. And because they see I'm not living in an illusion, they won't even know the reason for it. But that's when people start getting uncomfortable, malfunctioning, and all these different things. So that's why I'm very careful with who I give my energy to. And not even for myself, because even I've gotten to a point in my journey, it's like I could conversate with anybody, like, honestly. Like, if I can find the joy and good within anybody, but if you are getting to a point where you're a danger to me and my mental health, I can cut you off and set that boundary. Like, I still will have appreciation. Like, that's just a weird, like, empath within me, but I can still set boundaries and, like, exit when need be. But I do it to not make other people uncomfortable. It's like me just having a regular conversation with somebody, they probably leave, like, feeling bad about themselves because my energy and you just kind of vibrating out you operating outside the matrix will bring a lot of people's insecurities to the forefront. They'll be looking at you thinking, how are you happy when I'm kind of going through this life just like you, but I'm struggling? And people don't like the truth. That's why their ego protects them. That's why people got to go through an ego death for them to get to that next level of awareness, get into the next dimension, so they can start seeing what's going on out here. But that's why I tell a lot of people too, don't try to wake up everybody, or don't try to wake up people in general. Like, I'll plant seeds these days, and even that just drains my energy a little bit. So I just try to lead by example, and people need advice, they can come to me, ask me, and I got you straight up. But that's just the video for today, guys. I really think sometimes we're living in a Truman Show. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but if you do, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you found value in this video, like I said earlier, like, comment, subscribe, and do all those good things, and I will catch you guys next time.